How's it going, everybody? This is Mikey Bourdon. For my first video, I kind of just want to get right into it. So, today we're going to be talking about college football, and I'm going to be doing my predictions. Right now, it is currently 9:44 a.m. where I'm at. Texas and Arizona State play at 11 a.m. Let me just double check, but I believe it's at 11 a.m. So they play in an hour. I'm going to be honest with you. That game, I don't think either team can win the championship, but I got Texas winning that one. And then we have, it's at 11 as well. And then we have Ohio State and Oregon. I'll get to that last because that's the big game. Notre Dame and Georgia. So, Notre Dame's quarterback Riley Leonard has been playing pretty good this season. Their defense is pretty good. Georgia, on the other hand, it's been a roller coaster, really just for the SEC as a whole, but they're coming in 10-2, and Notre Dame is a one-loss team to Northern Illinois, I think they lost to, which I don't know how that happened. It's been a weird season. Georgia's quarterback, Carson Beck, is injured. He will not be playing. A lot of people are riding with Notre Dame, but I actually think Georgia is going to win this game, primarily just on, they've been there before. They believe in themselves, I think, more than Notre Dame will. So I got Georgia winning that one. And then Ohio State, Oregon, the rematch. Everybody's been talking about it already, but Oregon got fleeced in this college football bracket. They have to play Ohio State their first game, even though they already played them earlier this year and beat them. I don't know, this is a tough one. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. It's going to be tough for Oregon to beat Ohio State, who's pissed off. They lost to Michigan and Oregon earlier this year. Their fans are pissed. Everybody in Ohio State is just upset. They got a lot of fire behind them, but I'm going to be rolling with Oregon. I think Oregon can do it again, and I think Ohio State might get a little tight in the game, and that'll be their downfall, even though they have the best talent, I think, in college football. Quarterback play, though, it's big, and Will Howard, out of all four of these teams, 5, 6, however many, I think he is towards the bottom for sure. I would take Texas's quarterback over him. Definitely Oregon's. Drew Aller, Penn State, he's pretty good. So I think that's why Oregon is going to win. And Dillon Gabriel, of course, is a monster. I don't know how good he'll be in the NFL, but in college he's a beast. So I have Texas beating Arizona State, Oregon beating Ohio State, and Georgia beating Notre Dame. And of course, Penn State played last night, and they already beat Boise State. Everybody saw that coming, so really don't need to get into that. And then let's see where the matchups that would bring. So that would give us Oregon, Texas on January 10th, and Penn State, Georgia on January 9th. Those are going to be really good games if those teams win today that I predict. Let's start with Penn State, Georgia. Georgia's just been there before, man. They know how to win these games. Penn State, that's the thing, they don't know really how to win these big games, so I think it's a no-brainer. Georgia's going to win that game, but I do think it's going to be a close game, a really good game, especially with how Georgia's been playing this year. They've been up and down, but I think they'll pull it out, especially since, like I said, this year they've been through it. They've been down more than Penn State has, so they know how to win in those situations more than Penn State does, I think. And then you have Oregon, Texas. Behind Ohio State, I think Texas has the best roster. they're really good seeing them. Defense is elite, speed. They're an SEC team. Coming over from the Big 12 to the SEC, they showed that they belong there. With that said, I think it's Oregon, man. I really believe in Dan Lanning and his crew, who they have. I think he's a pretty good coach, and they beat Ohio State, and I predict them to beat Ohio State again, and they're going to keep rolling, and they're going to beat Texas on the 10th or 9th whenever they play. So that leaves us Oregon against Georgia on the 20th. You see what I'm rocking? So it hurts me to say this, but I think Georgia is going to win it. I think Georgia is going to win it. Kirby, everybody's doubting them. They have a backup quarterback. There's really no reason why they should win, and I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's exactly why I think they are going to win. They have nothing to lose, really. They can just go out there, play. Defense is Georgia defense. It's always going to be good. Hurts to say this, but yep, I got Georgia beating Oregon. And since I'm repping these guys, we might as well talk about them a little bit. Up and down, we were talking about with Georgia, man. You can say that about Alabama and then some. Great start to the season. We beat Georgia. We become the number one team. Then the next week we lose to Vanderbilt. And then we play Tennessee and lose to them. Just don't look very well. Honestly, that Tennessee game is kind of forgettable. Nobody even really talks about that. But it's the Oklahoma one for me. That one was just an embarrassment. 3 points. You just can't allow that to happen. And I still believe in Kalen. I think he's actually a really good coach. And I think Jalen Milroe is a good quarterback, but it just didn't work this year. It's not a good fit. I like Jalen, but I really hope he does not come back to Alabama. I think we're going to be a better team next year with him gone. Get a quarterback that DeBoer wants and knows, and let's get this thing rolling next year. I don't think it's as bad as the season as people say it is. It's Kalen's first year. He went 9-4. What I would be more worried about is the NIL and our AD posting on Twitter asking for money from fans. Alabama doesn't have a lot of donors. That's what our fans need to realize and pay attention to moving forward if we want to still be an elite program. I don't know what the answer is. I hope there's regulations where there's maybe a salary cap, or I don't know. It's just a mess. I don't really have the time to go into it in this video, the whole NIL and transfer portal. But yeah, I think we just need to be more worried about that than Kalen DeBoer, because I think he's an elite coach. He proved it with Washington. And this is what happens, guys. I mean, we were the best dynasty in college football, and, you lose the greatest coach of all time, you're going to take a step back. But I'm still an Alabama fan. That's still my team. I'm going to root for them every year, and I'm excited for next year, and roll Tide.